Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm not certain about the placement of the microphone today. We'll see. We've been experimenting. This week is the third week of June. It is summer officially on Thursday, and it felt like a good time for a mid-year goals check-in. So I am fresh home from work, have not even changed, but we are going to look at the goals that I set back in January, see where we're at. I am sitting facing my vision board behind you, and it's not looking great. So, what I wrote down in January for my 2024 goals and aspirations, I broke it down. Sorry, I have the door closed so the cat can't come in here and he might scream at the door. However, I am wearing a microphone, so it might only bother me. I broke my goals down into 4 sections: personal, financial, work, and creative. Start with personal. Stop taking everything so seriously and be more silly and fun. Those are hard to measure. I do think in general, I am a lot more fun when the weather's nicer. So I think we're getting into that part of the year. Date. Figure out my headaches. I don't know if we've figured them out so much as we've figured out how to manage them. Establish a fitness and wellness routine I can actually continue as I age. I think, again, I think I'm in a really good place with this. I did 6 weeks of spin classes that have transitioned into 4 weeks of barre classes. I have gone for my morning walk, a majority being like 4 out of 7, so not great. A majority of days of the past 3 weeks. I got really good actually in the winter about doing my back exercises from after I broke my tailbone. I actually feel like I'm in a pretty decent spot here. Being cognizant of the fact that like I'm on a wait list for hip surgery and am in pain like a lot of the time. So I'm going to give myself an A there. And then I'm going to immediately give myself an F for do my physiotherapy exercises every day. I don't know why I'm so bad at these. Like my hip ones, not my back ones. Although I think whenever I wrote this goals list, I probably meant my back ones, which I got really good at and have not been good at since my back stopped hurting. But terrible, pathetic at doing my hip exercises. Financial. Okay, I feel like I need to give some background here. I had a very expensive year last year, and I was prepared for the first part of the expensive year. So that's July to Thanksgiving, which in Canada is in October. I knew I was going to Pi Convention, and I knew I really only needed spending money for that. And I knew that from there in Phoenix, Arizona, I had to get to Belfast to my cousin's wedding. And so I decided to stop in New York and London on my way to Belfast because there's no direct route from Phoenix to Belfast. And then my friend, my sorority little Jane, got married in August. My biological little sister got married in September. And my sorority grand little Brittany got married in October on Thanksgiving weekend. So I was prepared for an expensive 4 months. What I was not prepared for, and I had saved and I had planned, I was prepared. What I was not prepared for was my car to start overheating. And this is why we have an emergency fund. This is why an emergency fund is so important and why, like, you have to diversify your savings, and your emergency fund cannot, like, you can't rely on one savings account to meet all of your goals and all of your needs. But I was not prepared for my car to start overheating, the mechanic to not be able to figure it out, 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 for me to go to a different mechanic and spend $980 something for my laptop to die after I'd started my YouTube channel. And then for my check engine light to come on, for my car to be spraying oil, to need new brakes. And that brings us to like April of this year. And I truly have gotten myself into such a hole because of, like, just the emergencies would have been an expensive year. Just the weddings would have been an expensive year. It all happening in the same 9-month period is enough, unless you are a person who has like a fully funded emergency fund, like $20,000 to $30,000 in an emergency fund. I don't think anybody is prepared to handle all of those things at once. So I am in a hole, and I'm working on it, but I am in a hole. So financial, no longer carry a credit card balance. We're not there at all. Have an emergency fund that can handle more than one emergency. Honestly, at this point, I'd like it to be like, I am just had gotten to such a point of, I get $1,000 and then something happens with my car and it's gone, that I just need to get to $1,000. And then what I want to do is, once I have $1,000, I want to have $1,000 in like an easily accessible account, and then put everything else into a high yield savings account and pretend that it doesn't exist unless an emergency happens, and then I have it. But Jesus Christ, getting to like more than $1,300 has been a task. Save up $6,000 to my moving fund. I will be at the halfway mark by the end of the month, which is really cool, and has kind of, because my emergency fund has gotten dipped into so much, I think I developed an attitude that I wasn't capable of saving, which was really disappointing, because whenever I was a kid and like in high school and university, I was really good at saving because I knew that I was only going to be making money for like chunks of the year, because I didn't have consistent employment, especially in undergrad, except for my last year of undergrad. Like, I would coat check and bartend and tables and stuff like that, but like it was not consistent at all. So yeah, I think I'd forgotten how to save, and it's been really good for my brain to have a savings account that money goes in and does not come out unless it's for something related to relocation. I've already mentioned this. Keep all but $1,000 of an emergency fund into a high interest savings account or high yield savings account. I wrote down increased pension contribution, and I don't want to do this anymore. I think at this point, everything else is such a mess that I think I'm actually going to go down to the minimum for now, and then it can be bumped back up later on. I always have at least $500 in my checking account. No. Okay. Work. Get a new public health job in a major urban area. I'm so annoyed at this one. In February and March, I was like getting interviews, and I just haven't heard from anybody. I really thought I was going to be in either Toronto, Paris, or Rome by now. And that was scary because I didn't have enough money saved up, but it was really exciting because of like the opportunities. And like Toronto is really exciting because my friends are there. Paris is really exciting because the company I'd be working for. Rome is exciting because it's Rome and it's a really good organization. But yeah, I really thought that I was going to be out of this little town by now. And I am not. And I would say the past couple weeks I was feeling pretty discouraged by the whole process, but I am feeling a little bit reinvigorated this week. It's only Monday, so who knows? Increase salary to at least 85K. This is still a big goal. Continue to feel like my job is actually doing something of value. This is interesting because I actually am less feeling like my current job is doing something of value just because it's gotten so frustrating. But that's not something I really want to get into. Creative, determine if I actually truly do enjoy YouTube. I think I do. I think I'm going about it in a very healthy way. I don't check my stats. I completely avoid them. I'm not making shorts. I don't make Instagram reels. I'm kind of conflating all social media now. But like the comments on YouTube shorts and Instagram reels, I don't know if you've ever been to them. They are the scariest place. People are so mean and like just assume stuff randomly. And that's just not a place that I need to be. So yeah, find my editing style. I think I'm still figuring this out. And I think this is something you're maybe always figuring out. So I have started using, so at the time, my laptop would have died around the time that I used this. So I was originally using the Windows free program, which was called Clipchamp. And then for a little while I used iMovie, and now I'm using CapCut. And I think I like CapCut the most. I'm not paying for it yet. I'm refusing to pay for anything for YouTube at the moment. Just trying to keep everything affordable. But I think I like it. And find a balance between written and visual content. So how I got into content creation was through blogging. And I really enjoyed blogging, but it did start to feel like a chore. And it wasn't really like the amount of effort that I was putting into it was not really like, I'm a big you get out what you put in person, and I was putting a lot into it, and I was not getting very much back out of it. So yeah, I don't know. I really do enjoy written content. Sometimes I think I'm able to express myself a little bit better in written content. But so far, this is where I'm enjoying. So that's that. We're going to take a look at my annual budget template. To date dashboard. Okay. So far this year, I have spent 41.8% of my income on expenses. This is variable expenses. 30% has gone towards debt payments, 7% has gone to savings, and 21.2% towards debt payments, 7% has gone to savings, and 21.2% has gone to bills. Not bad. My income has been between $4,000 and $6,000. Pretty good. My expenses have been between 3.5. February was a good month. This is variable expenses, so $3,000 on variable expenses is too much. I would prefer this to be between 1 and 2. But car payment, car repairs. Monthly savings. Saved the most in April because I got paid out for some or most of my unused leave. So I put almost all of that towards saving, which was great. February was the month I did a low buy, which was also the second highest month for savings. So I think that could be a good thing, although I don't think a low buy is realistically going to happen until August, but I think that would be good. So monthly income versus total spent. Yeah. Sorry, it's so noisy outside all of a sudden. I do think that I've only received one paycheck so far in June, so I do think that will balance out a lot more. But yeah, debt payoff, have not paid off very much in June, but So groceries, I have spent $3,859 so far this year on groceries. I've spent $726 so far this year on the kit. $434.06 on gas, like for my car, which is impressive. $418.14 on coffee so far this year. $224.29 on essential household supplies, $208.36 on fitness and sport, $743.40 on eating out, which is less than or a little bit more than $100 a month. Toiletries, actually, I would have expected that to be more. $248.78, makeup and fragrance $317.66, medicine and vitamins $122.08. Also would have expected that to be higher with the way I've been going through Tylenol and Advil. Good to know. Car maintenance almost $2,000, $1,884.75. Clothes $737. Non-essential homes $79.89. I am pleased with that. Travel $1,745.83. This has included a trip down to Toronto for my best friend's birthday, a trip to Thunder Bay for an MRI on my hip, a trip to Winnipeg for a consultation with my hip surgeon, and a flight in July that I've already bought for July for my friend's wedding. Gifts and cards $152.57. This is actually an area that I would like to see higher, but that hasn't happened yet. Nothing in Christmas tech or fines yet, although that's not totally accurate. I haven't updated all of my July stuff, and I have ordered a new phone. I'm doing a payment plan for it through my provider, as is common in Canada. My cell phone bill is only going up like $20 a month, so I'm fine with that. But I did have to buy, iPhones don't come with a new or with a charging block anymore, so I had to buy the block. And I had to buy, I like wire headphones, and they changed the port, so I had to buy new headphones and a new phone case because it's not the same size as my old phone, etc., etc. So, but my phone is busted. So, bank fees, this is annoying because this is mostly credit card interest, which I spent almost $1,000 or over $1,000. No, I'm going to say almost because some of it is like account fees and stuff like that on credit card interest. Spending money, $511.69. That's not bad. $153 on craft supplies. $50 is all I've spent on social. I mean, there's not really much to do here. Entertainment, nothing. $72.03 on my hair for the year. And I get bang trims a lot. They are only like $7, like six something. So, yeah. And then I don't count this, but things that I bought for work that I've gotten reimbursed was $330.89. So my largest fixed expense is my rent. So let's check in on my savings goals. As I said, my emergency fund has been over $1,000. It's currently not. My moving fund, this hasn't updated, but it should be at 2.7. I'll have to look into that. And then my TFSA is at 180. I haven't contributed in a little while. I only contribute $20, but the past couple of paychecks, it's felt like I needed every cent. And Montana currently has nothing in his savings. So how I do him is I take $50 almost every paycheck, unless I'm like actively buying something for him from that paycheck, and then put it into a cash envelope for him. But he needed wet food this pay period, and then he went to the vet last pay period, so it's wiped out at the moment, and we're starting from scratch. So, overall, mid check-in, goals check-in. I'm in an impeccably good mood today, so I've gotten lots of steps in, gotten a bit of sunshine, or cute outfit, or cute shoes, ate a good lunch. I can't understate the effect that sunshine has on me. So I don't know if I'm being as pragmatic as I normally am, but I don't know. I have a good feeling about this year. it just, I don't know, maybe it's being 30, but like I just feel like I'm like making decisions better than I have in the past. And I'm more aware of like the consequences of my decisions and how they'll impact things. Like I'm going to my friend's wedding in Southern Ontario in July, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be so close to home. Should I just take the following week off and go home? But I know I'm gonna need a ton of time off work after my hip surgery. So, like, logically, yeah, it would be nice to go home. And I probably would have done that a few years ago. But, like, logically, it doesn't make any sense to take time off that I don't need to until I know. I feel like there's no way you can't hear that lawnmower. Until I know how much time I'm going to need to take for my hip. So, I just. I just think I'm making more sensible decisions this year than I have in the past. So, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Um, if you have strong opinions about how I feel about my goals, please let me know. I'm open to criticism and feedback. But if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I primarily make like lifestyle, personal finance, no financial advice, content, and do some vlogs sometimes. Talk about life up in remote Northern Ontario, although people further north than me would get mad about that. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week.